Didn't know if I had a picture. This is Larry. He was one of the guys killed in Vietnam. And Paul wanted to tell me about meeting with his fiancée that 40 years after he was killed. Okay. Larry Fox was in my squad in Vietnam. He hadn't been there long, and we got in a battle trying to take a hill. He was killed instantly, or right away. And he hadn't been with me too long, but he was a great troop. He'd do anything you say, had great disposition, nice kid. So then, let's see, in October of 2009, our company medic, Rich Bovee, Doc Bovee we call him, he forwarded a letter that he got from Linda Kelly, who I believe was Larry's fiancée or girlfriend. Now this is 40, I get this, the docs had sent it to me and told her that I would know. I would have more information. Doc worked on him. Doc gave her information. So I got this, waited a couple days. I sent her a letter and explained what I saw. You know, basically, to be honest, I told her what she wanted to hear, but it was odd. It was true. It was a good kid. I didn't freaking know him that well. Because at this point, when I was in Vietnam, I've been there like 9 or 10 months, and I got to be honest, I kind of distanced myself a little bit. I didn't want to get too, but you're still like brothers. Everybody's you're like family, in a squad. Yeah. Squad. So this is what she wrote to Doc, and he forwarded it to me and told her he was going to forward it to me. Yeah. Okay? Yeah. I have thought about this all weekend. I don't want to upset you for any reason, but I have been upset for 40 years. And now that I have started to get some answers, I need them all. I'm going to tell you my story. I met Larry through my brother, who also was in Vietnam, and thank God returned home to us. I think it was love at first sight for both of us. I know it was for me. First time I looked into those beautiful eyes, I was hooked. He was the most caring, understanding person I ever met. The day he left for Vietnam, I never once thought I would never see him again, or I would have held on tighter and kissed him 1,000,000 more times. He was my life, my soulmate. I will never love anyone the way I loved him. I wrote him every single day and sent him care packages. I waited every day to hear from him and was so excited when I did. I will never forget when we got the first word that he was MIA, missing in action. A part of me died. I knew the next words would be he was gone, and I was right. The next days are not real clear to me, as I was on medication to get me through the whole ordeal. I was not allowed to administer the medication to myself, as they were afraid I would overdose, and I probably would have. I wanted it back so bad I hurt. I know there was visiting hours and a funeral, but I don't remember them. I used to pretend it was all a dream and he was come home. But we both know that was nothing but a dream. I spent the next few years trying to pull myself together and cope with life. I didn't want to live. Any reason for living was gone, and I just wanted to be with him. Then one day, my older brother told me, pull yourself together and try to make Larry memories happy ones, instead of blaming everyone for his death. I was now only 20 years old, the same age as Larry when he died. I turned off the sad songs and started going out again. I met my husband, also a wonderful man. He knows Larry was my life and soulmate, and he loves me for me. We have had a good life. 3 grown children, 2 boys and a girl, 5 grandchildren, so life has been good after Larry. But there is a hole in my heart that will never heal. Rich Bovee has told me about the day Larry was KIA. He assured me that he didn't suffer and never knew what hit him. That makes me feel better. I often wondered if he had laid in pain and lasted for hours, even days. I am not happy that he died over there with no family or me with him, but to know that he did not suffer gives me comfort. I told Doc that now I know that Larry is resting in peace, so can I. I guess what I want from you is your story about him, over there from start to finish. I have searched for years to find anyone that knew him. I have gone down a lot of dead-end roads. People that said they were with him and ended up to be assholes that never even knew or was with him. I refuse to give up. I need the truth, and I will spend the rest of my life getting it, because I know he would do the same for me if the shoe was on the other foot. He will never be forgotten, because as long as I am here, his memory will live. His parents and brother are now gone. He only has a sister left. I am not sure what her story is because we have lost contact over the years. About a month ago, the moving wall was in town where Larry was raised. They had a big 3-day event. The last day they honored the 50 names on the wall that was from Chautauqua County, where he was from. They asked me to represent him, and I was honored. We were escorted to the wall by a military person and given roses and a plaque in Larry's memory. It was so emotional for me. His sister refused to attend. He had a couple of cousins that didn't even know him there, but no sister. I've been trying to get her address from one of the cousins that Larry's father always told me that when he was gone, I could have Larry's medals and the flag that covered his casket. I know they probably mean more to me than anyone else at this point. If this is too much for you, I will understand, because I said before, I am not here to upset anyone. I just want answers. I will wait for your reply. I am not ready to talk on the phone. I would just want to do by email. I have rambled enough, so I will end this for this time. Thank you for the help, Linda. And when I got this, 40 years after the fact, it rattled me a little bit, and that. So I took some time, and I got her address. I wrote her a letter.
Yeah.
I told her a story, what I knew. Yeah. And but I got thinking after this is 40 years after the fact.
Yeah.
How many moms, dads, wives, brothers, and girlfriends and sisters still feel that way? Right. It's horrible. What a war. What a waste.
Yeah.
And how many stories are like this?
Yeah.
40 years, you'd think there'd be some closure, some healing. Still a lot of pain.
Yeah.
Open wounds.
Yeah.
But
do you have the what you wrote back to her?
What's that?
Do you have what you wrote back to her at all? Or?
No, I don't. It was a handwritten letter.
Do you know about what you said?
Yeah. I basically told her how I knew him and what a good troop he was and what he'd do anything, that I told him. And he had a great sense of humor. And I don't think it was enough for her, but I don't know. I had found out, though, that she did go to a reunion, one of our company reunions.
Yeah.
So, and Doc was there. And Doc sent me an email that he talked to her when she was there. And I wished I had gone to that reunion. I wanted to see her. She was there, I think, and with her husband.
Yeah.
And so I'm sure she got some closure,
Yeah.
Because some of the same guys were still alive then. Paul Sicca was alive, and Gomer was alive, and I'm sure they shared stories with her,
Do you have her phone number? Did she ever give you her phone number or no?
No.
Oh.
No. She sent me a note thanking me, but I think she said she wished she knew more.
Yeah.
That's all I could tell her.
Would you ever want to give her a call on the phone or no?
I would if she wanted.
You should email her. You should email her, see if she would like that.
Well, this was 2009.
Yeah.
Maybe she wanted closure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
mean, I sent her a letter. She's got my address. I'm pretty sure, I don't know if it was an email, maybe a card thanking me.
Yeah.
Just a short note,
Yeah. Yeah, that'd be cool if you could call her and we could film that and ask her if she would be okay with that. And then
I wouldn't bother.
right.
Yeah.
Or even just to tell her that you keep his name in your wallet all the time.
Yeah.
You know.
I might have told her that.
Yeah.
I may have told her that.
Yeah.
So he was. I've never forgotten him.
Yeah.
I think I did tell her that in the letter.
You did.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Yes, I'm pretty sure I did. But it really had a profound effect on me that there was that much feeling 40 years later.
Yeah. And just so many, just hundreds of thousands of people affected, if not millions, right?
Can you imagine how many moms, And these kids were like, he was 20.
Yeah.
I was out of Vietnam before I was 21.
Right.
I was a squad leader. I remember Harbottle and I, one time, we got 2 or 3 new guys in, we talked to them and they were digging foxhole. I said, man, they're just sending kids over here. I was 20 years old.
Right. Yeah.
Age fast.